What's going on to you, Aries? You have the Star card, then you have the Six of Michael, and then you, Aries, also have the Solutions, right? Temperance. Let me see. So it seems to me, like I said before, it seems to me as if somebody thinks that they have the solution to getting close to you again, right? The Star card, Six of Michael, the Solutions. You, Aries, are getting to your hopes and dreams, the things that you, Aries, want to do, the things that you wanted to do, the accomplishments that you, Aries, wanted. You're getting to all of that. And what you're having is the Six of Michael, the Solutions. You have someone, right? Then you even have the leap of faith. You have someone who thinks that they know what the answer is basically to either just pop up, maybe even apologize, try to get you, Aries, to forgive them. But you, Aries, have the solution, which is ignore them and move forward. Never mind about jealous individuals. Never mind about people who hard to get along with. People who just want to be up in your life, and they just want it to be a wrestling match and all of that. You, Aries, don't want it to be a wrestling match. If a person doesn't have to get along with you, all the time. You're not asking for blind trust, but what you're asking for is, yeah, you do want a person to trust you, right? And relationships are nothing essentially without trust. See, what a lot of people are caught up in nowadays when it comes to the whole trust aspect is people are caught up with blind trust. That's what they are mistaking it for. They're thinking they are conflating trusting someone with trusting someone no matter what happens. Especially if that's not what it is that you're looking for. You're not trying to get someone to blindly trust you. When a person starts wilding out and then they come back, they really look stupid. You know what I mean? Because it's like you really see that, they just kind of bugging and they really have to figure some things out within themselves. So anyway, so then you also have the Eight of Michael. And the Eight of Michael, like I said before, is how free your mind is, because once again, whatever solution that they're thinking of to potentially come back and apologize, you, Aries, don't care about that. Y'all are pretty much dialed in. Y'all are focusing on what you have to do, and you're doing it at a very high level. You're doing it at a very good high level, accomplishing the things that you want because your mind is free. So you don't have to deal with exes or any of that goofy stuff. Just focus. And that's what you, Aries, are doing. And a lot of you have a lot of free time on your hands, and a lot of you, Aries, are using that free time to accomplish, like I said, accomplish your goals, right? Everyone has free time on their hands if they pretty much just say forget about everything and they're not going to do anything. But even when you, Aries, do have some free time, if it's not like resting or going to the gym or something like that, right? Because a lot of you are prioritizing resting, right? Recharging those batteries are just as important. And when I say the batteries, I'm talking about your body. Recharging those batteries are just as important as any kind of physical workout as you can possibly do, right? I call it recharging your battery because you know how it feels like when you're just tired, and then when you go lay down and you get a good amount of rest, good quality rest, how you just feel charged up like the Energizer Bunny, right? Your whole body just feels electric, or electromagnetic to be more accurate, right? You just like, yo, you feel like the Flash. You could run a whole mile in 4 seconds. You know what I'm saying? And so the situation, or 40 seconds. And so the situation with you, Aries, is that now you have the Knight of Raphael as well, right? So this is a situation where a lot of you understand a lot better how to get in touch with your sensuality and other aspects of you, because that's one of the things that you're missing. Yeah, a lot of you, Aries, look good, but um a lot of you Aries are not comfortable with how good you look and how attractive specifically in general you are, right? So it's like, so a lot of you are like now starting to kind of like begin to understand to a certain extent, like, okay, how to carry that in the world with you, right? How to accept, you're learning how to accept the fact that, yeah, you know, you Aries are attractive. Not only are you attractive, but you know how to deal with people um, in a sociable way, in a way that still is good. And so not only are you attractive, but you also have the social skills too. And yeah, so a lot of you Aries are like, okay, yeah, you're attractive, right? And so now it becomes a matter of just learning how to become more comfortable with that for you Aries. Because again, a lot of you are not comfortable with that. I see a lot of you are handling business, get to bag, the job, right? Working double shifts. Not every single day, but the days that you feel good enough to working double shifts, handling your business, getting your money. A lot of you are doing your investments. A lot of you are getting to the money and everything. Y'all hanging out with y'all friends. Y'all are doing y'all thing. I don't really see that there's anything going on as far as, you know, you feel like there's not enough hours in a day. Time management, you're pretty much getting in everything that you wanted to get in, and you're having fun, right? What helps create fun is variety, unpredictability, right? Things that you do not know or you're not sure of what's going to happen, right? And so to a certain extent, right? And so the situation with that is your life is getting into variety, like I talked about, right? To hanging, right, living your life, to hanging out with your friends, doing your business, working your job, doing this, resting, all of that represents variety to your life. And so what's going on here is that you have the Sun and the Justice card. Now you had goofballs in the comment section. Like I said before, I don't even pay these goofies any mind like that. But just to further educate the people who are literate and numerate, the people, for the slow individuals, for the people who can read and count and all of that, right? And has comprehension skills, because some of these people are goofy and stupid as all can get out. But see, Aries, to have to be an Aries in the sun sign or a Leo in the sun sign, it is an exaltation. Are we clear? Let me go ahead and educate y'all. It is an exaltation. Why is that? Because it's an exaltation for Leo, because Leo is at home in the sun, because Leo is naturally ruled by the sun. And it's an exaltation. Now, it's also an exaltation for Aries. Why? Because Aries, like I said before, carries out the duties and the responsibilities of the sun. If Leo represents the king or a queen, Aries represents the knight. That carries out the duties and the responsibilities of the king or the queen. Aries is the bodyguard to Leo or the king or the queen. And so that's why it gets to share an exaltation as a sun sign. Okay? So when I say that Aries carries out the duties and the responsibilities of Leo or the king or the queen, it is true. It is an exaltation to have your sun sign in Aries. It is an exaltation to have your sun sign in Leo. It is an exaltation to have your sun sign in I'm gonna say an exaltation, but it is good position to have your sun sign in Venus. Oh, excuse me, your sun sign as a Libra or a Sagittarius. So the situation with that is that the sun sign and the Justice card right here, once again, right, shining, your attention is to yourself, shining, the Justice, and rightfully so, fairly so. The Justice deals with things that are off balanced and making square things, people, and situations that should have been square, should have been done right, but didn't necessarily get a chance to. The Justice card is only a physical representation, yet again, of how you, Aries, are doing yourself correctly. You're doing yourself right. You should have been like this for a long time. But again, we all get here when it is that if and when we get here. And you, Aries, thankfully got here, because there was a point in time where you Aries weren't able to do a lot of what it is that you're doing now. And so now you Aries are here. You are appreciative of what you have. Don't forget to stop at least a few times a week. Take the time out of your day, okay, to be thankful for what you have. Don't take anything for granted, all right? And so now you have the 8 of Raphael and the 10 of Michael. The 8 of Raphael represents how, and so what I'm seeing here is that, once again, the letting go of, or the no attachment to unsuccessful romantic, familial, or friendship relationships. The letting go of that stuff. The deep meditation that comes along with what you Aries have got. You Aries want to stay in the zone. You want to stay dialed in. That's easy. What you need to do in order to get in the zone, one of the tips that I can tell you right now in order to get in the zone and stay there, right, and to keep your lifestyle going, what it is to stay there, right, stay feeling and smelling and tasting and seeing and touching your own energy while keeping your ears to the streets, being aware of your surroundings, is to first and foremost allow yourself to be bored. Boredom is actually a good thing. You hear me talk about being bored. Boredom, see these people who talk this nonsense, boredom is a good thing. Boredom is actually the process of creativity. When you get bored, it means that the like a video game, it means that the creativity is loading again. You just sit there, relax for a few minutes. When you get bored, that means turn the TV off, turn everything off. Get off social media for a few minutes. Just let everything just cool off for a minute. Sit in silence. Go do something else. Touch some grass. Enjoy yourself. Creativity loading. Like you have the loading bar at a video game, creativity loading again. Your creativity is beginning to actually play itself out, or actually reload or regenerate itself, rejuvenate itself. So it's the same thing when it comes to attention, right? You want to be able to actually stay in the zone, stay performing at a high level, easy. Allow yourself to be bored. Stay off social media for a little bit. And I'm not saying, when I say stay off social media, I'm not talking about for days, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about for a couple of minutes. You know, it doesn't even have to be for a long amount of time. It could be for a couple of minutes. It could be for like 10, 20 minutes out of the day. Just go, I'm just chill. Let the creativity load. Not only is the creativity loading, the focus, which will help guide the creativity along, is also loading as well. Again, like a video game. I've been doing it for a week, right? And so, when I found that out. And so those are some of the things that you can do, right? You can go to sleep, you can relax, just cool off. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the 10 of Michael. You have the Emperor, the Ace of Wands, the Magician card, Page of Pentacles, and then you also have the World card too, to clarify the 10 of Michael. So again, the Emperor, the Ace of Wands, and the Magician. These three cards right here represent, again, the Emperor is Aries. So you showed up in your reading, the last few cards, but for the reading. But the Emperor, the Ace of Wands, and the Magician here just speaks to, again, you're doing an excellent job, and you're just remembering how you weren't here before. There was a long time before you got to this point. And I feel you, you know. I feel you. It took you a long time to get to this point. It took me a long time to get to this point too. You know, things are looking up. And so I'm glad that they are for you, right? You know, unless you born into a family where you already got $1 million on deck, it doesn't, you know, it takes a long time, because a lot of us too, we don't learn about money. You feel me? So a lot of you Aries are, like I said, enjoying yourselves. You know, the magician, making things that you thought of as reality. And, you know, sense of pride, sense of you Aries being proud that, again, you came a long way. You know, you went from not getting anything that you wanted, or a lot of what you wanted, to a lot of what you do want. And so now you have the Page of Pentacles, but then you also have the World card as well. So the Page of Pentacles here is that, again, you Aries are still fascinated, and you're basically a student of the game, because you're still interested in finding out what's next for you, right? It's not like you're getting bored with succeeding. It's like, okay, what's next, right? Like, what is your limitation? Maybe the sky's the limit. And the World card represents maybe world domination. That's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're at 27,400 and change. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all, so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. I'm going to take tomorrow off. Come back on the 29th. September has 30 days. I'm going to take the 30th off as well. Then I'm going to come back on the 1st. So if y'all don't give me the most amount of views, you'll see me in several days from now. So yeah, peace. Have a good one.